Hey guys, Jason here. I have now completed my whole 30. I'm on about day 35 or something now, but sorry that I didn't quite check in at the right time. But basically, I made it through my 30 days, and this is my final video in this series of posts. So I wanted to basically talk about my experience, how I feel now, what I learned from it, some mistakes I made, and what I would do next time, and what I could recommend to anyone else that wants to do one. So, I mean, obviously, there's no point going into it. I mean, I absolutely feel amazing. It's incomparable to how I felt prior to starting it. If I go back to my first video and look at that, and then look at how I am now, there's just no words to describe the difference. You know, the way that you sleep, the way you feel, your energy levels, your hunger levels, just everything is just so constant. Everything just feels so normal. You go to bed and you sleep, you get up, you're awake, you stay awake, you don't have the energy slumps, you don't have you get the cravings, of course, but you don't feel like you're going to pass out if you don't eat something. It's bliss. It's absolutely bliss is the only way to describe it. So, I mean, what mistakes did I make? This was my second time, so I didn't make anywhere near as many mistakes as my last one. I would say I made the classic mistake again of totally extracting myself too much from normal life. So towards the end, it started feeling like a bit of a chore because I still don't quite know how to go out and I suppose have a normal life whilst doing a whole 30. I can't go to a bar and not drink. I can't. I mean, I find that if I go out, I feel too tempted. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake that I totally extracted myself, but I didn't test myself. I didn't use this as an opportunity to say, okay, let's go out and put myself in a situation where I might fail or might be in a position that is going to challenge me. I just didn't do it at all. So I kind of wish I had used it as more of a, rather than focusing on just getting through. I tried to, looking back at my first, second, and third videos, I had goals about trying to look at the long term. Look at how I was going to do this long term. So I don't think I quite did that. I still focused on just getting through. So that was my biggest mistake. Next time, what would I do? I would definitely throw myself into a position. I'd arrange to go out for a meal and a couple of drinks and just see if I can challenge myself to drink soda water, sparkling water. I think I'd be absolutely bored out of my brains, but somehow I've got to, I mean, plenty of people do it, so there's got to be a way of going out and having fun without drinking. In terms of, for anyone else that's looking at doing a whole 30, just the big thing is just do it. Just say to yourself, I'm going to start this, and then you've got to, it's not about the day that you start, it's about the days leading up to it. It's about how you prepare yourself. It's like, think of yourself if you're running a marathon. You're not going to just show up and run a marathon. You're going to train for it, and you kind of need to do that with a whole 30 as well. You need to look at the days preceding when you start and be like, okay, I need to go out and do a shop. You need to get rid of all the junk in your pantries. You need to make sure there's no temptation. And then the day before it starts, or even the 2 days before, you need to do a massive cook. You need to sit down and look at your diary, what days you're going to be out, so you know that you've got food at home. So cook some meals, have them in the freezer, and then if, say, Wednesday or Thursday night, you're not going to be home until late, at least in the morning you can take the meals out and let them defrost. When you get home, they're ready to go. That's my biggest tip to anyone, is preparation. Don't take this lightly. Don't just start it. Don't think that you can do this and then just roll with the punches. It's all about, it's a project, and it's a lot of planning and a lot of little milestones. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You're gonna feel rubbish on your second week. Just check out my second video. You'll see how bad I felt. I had a cold and I just felt like death. And you got to be prepared for it. But nothing can prepare you for the feeling you get when you wake up and you get through, and all of a sudden your body's running off fat, and there's no sugar pretty much in your system at all, apart from what you're getting from fruit. And it's hard to describe. It really is. So I would say for anyone looking at wanting to do one of these, it is all about planning. The more meticulous you are, your planning, the more successful you're going to be. if you know you're going out, I mean, like I said, I extracted myself totally from situations. But if you know that you can't do that, you need to socialize. You need a foreplan. You need to look at, if you're going out meeting people for lunch, you need to look at and really plan where you're going to go. Look at the menus. What do they offer? You know, tell. And the second point I want to tell everyone is tell everyone that you're going to do it. Be loud about it. Be proud. And you'd find that people start getting quite almost jealous. Like they'll bring you down. They'll knock you back because they can see the benefit themselves and they know they couldn't do it, so it's easier for them to bring you back away, bring you back down to their level. And it's quite odd when you see people's reactions to it and how they knock, and you start seeing the real good friends from your true friends, from the people that would much rather you didn't succeed because it makes them feel bad. So you get to see an interesting side of people. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got a small group of friends who are fantastic friends, and I would much rather have a smaller, tighter, good group of friends than a larger group that I wasn't quite sure about. So, but it will be interesting to see any new people and how you feel. So, but the first thing is go out and tell people about it, and just be so proud about how about what you're doing, about how good you're going to make yourself feel. You know, just embrace what you're doing, embrace the challenge, and just know that you're gonna feel like a new person. You really are. It's like I said, you can't describe it. So that's me. That's my journey. That was my second one. I'll be doing a third one, probably not for a long time now, because we're going to be off traveling soon. So no point doing one whilst traveling. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my series. If you've got any questions or anything at all, please do shout out. I'm always here to help. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm still sticking to it. There have been times, like I noticed it, like the other night I got home from work and there was no food, and I was just like, you know what, I can't be bothered with the pain. So I went and bought a sandwich, and I went out for beers the other weekend, and at this stage I'm doing okay. We'll see how I feel 2 or 3 months time, see if I crash again. But my focus is purely on trying to keep not a Whole30 lifestyle, but I'd almost call it a paleo lifestyle, really. Not as strict as Whole30, but I'm still trying to come to terms with post Whole30, making, when there are no restrictions. But at the moment I feel so damn good, and to be honest, I've lost a lot of weight as well, and there's just so many positives to doing what I'm doing that I'm not really tempted at all to go back to anything else. So, but that's how I feel now. We'll see what it's going to be like in a few months' time. But that's all from me. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.